Disclaimer. The following will be discussing serious topics and tragedies that have taken place. This video is solely for educational purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. Imagine this scenario. It's the year 1999, and you're at a concert, watching bands that were on the rise of popularity at the time. Everything seems to be going well, until all chaos breaks loose and everything begins to go downhill from there. Now, you might be wondering what music festival let this chaos happen. Well, here's the story about how one music festival had its reputation as the most tragic event in music history. Let's start from the beginning. The Woodstock Music and Art Fair, which is commonly referred to as Woodstock, was a music festival that was held between August 15th to August 18th in 1969. This music festival would be held on Max Yasker's farm in the town of Bethel, New York, which was 40 miles southwest of the town of Woodstock. It was organized by 4 promoters who were inexperienced that were somehow managed to sign popular rock acts to perform at the event. Many of these famous rock acts included Jimi Hendrix, Sly and the Family Stone, The Who, and the Grateful Dead. This first ever Woodstock festival was a significant part in American history due to the ideals that were popular back then that resonated with the youth and even for its relevant counterculture movement at that time. It is estimated that nearly 500,000 people attended the event, despite the fact that there is no official count of how many people attended this festival. Although many people think that this first ever Woodstock festival was full of peace and love, it was the complete opposite. On August 18th of that year, a news story declared that waves of wary young people steamed away from the event last night. And earlier that day, as the security officials confirmed that there were 2 deaths at the event, and approximately 4,000 of the people who attended were treated for injuries, illnesses, and adverse reactions. There was a mess that was left at Woodstock 69 where things like crates, plastic, and even clothes were abandoned. It's even gotten so bad to the point where the grass of the farm was where the festival took place at was trampled into oblivion, and the cleanup of the place was quick and 8,000 attendees had volunteered to help out. Later on in the year 1994, the second Woodstock Festival would be held in Saugerties, New York. Except it was held to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the first Woodstock Festival that took place, which was Woodstock 69 as I previously mentioned. This event was also promoted as 2 more days of peace and music, and 350,000 people attended the event despite the fact that the estimated amount of tickets sold was 164,000. The crowd of people were larger than the concert's organizers had planned to be, to the point where by the second night of the event, the policies were unenforced. The many performing acts that performed includes Joe Cocker, Cypress Hill, Blind Melon, 9 Inch Nails, and many other acts. The band Alice in Chains were initially on the Woodstock 94 festival's bill, but due to the late lead singer Lane Staley's continuing drug problem at the time, the band decided it would be best to pull out of the festival. However, that did not stop the band Primus from inviting Jerry Cantrell, the guitarist of Alice in Chains, to perform with them on the song Herald of the Rocks. Woodstock 94 was given the name Mudstock or Mudstock 94 due to the fact that there were mud fights that happened at the festival. Not to mention how there were other incidents that involved Mike Dirnt of Green Day being mistaken for a fan and knocked out a tooth by a security guard, and even the time when Shannon Hoon of Blind Melon tripping on acid while performing in his girlfriend's dress. On one Sunday, however, a 20-year-old passed away due to a ruptured spleen, and the organizers of the event confirmed that 5,000 people were treated at medical tents and 800 other people were taken to the hospital. Now, you might be wondering, was Woodstock 99 better than the last 2 that were mentioned? Well, to put it simply, no, it was not. Before I start with this section of the video, I will put a trigger warning right here for anyone who is sensitive to these topics that will be mentioned. If you are sensitive to the said topics that will be mentioned, you can either click off the video or skip to a certain time stamp right here. Now, with that out of the way, let's continue with the rest of the video. From July 23rd to the 25th of 1999, the third Woodstock Festival, Woodstock 99, was held in Rome, New York. The performing acts of the festival included artists like Korn, Limp Bizkit, Jamiroquai, Bush, Kid Rock, Rage Against the Machine, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and more. The amount of attendees at the festival were approximately 400,000 people. However, the amount of tickets that were sold for this festival was only 186,983, and the capacity of the venue was advertised as only 250,000. Things at the festival, however, took a very dark turn as there were many problems with the festival in itself. The many issues that happened included the difficult environmental conditions, food and water being overpriced, poor sanitation, sexual harassment and rapes, riots and looting, vandalism, and many other things that have happened at Woodstock 99. This led to media coverage and controversy surrounding the festival. You would think the organizers of an event like this would take accountability, right? Well, unfortunately, they didn't and decided to blame what happened at Woodstock 99 on the attendees instead. The creators and promoters of the festival called the attendees irresponsible, aggressive, and anarchic. The attendees, on the other hand, responded by stating that they were treated poorly and felt unsafe and insanitary. With every tragic incident that has happened at Woodstock 99, many news outlets blamed artists like Red Hot Chili Peppers and Limp Bizkit for what happened at the festival. The band Red Hot Chili Peppers were blamed for and accused by multiple news outlets of inciting fires during covering Jimi Hendrix's song Fire, while Limp Bizkit, on the other hand, were blamed for and accused of inciting the infamous riots that happened after the band performed their hit single Break Stuff from their 1999 album Significant Other. This wasn't even Limp Bizkit's fault for the riots that happened, however. In an article by The Ringer, Korn lead singer Jonathan Davis stated, "I don't think that the riots should have happened, period. That was some but I think Bizkit being blamed for it, because they were the heavy band, we were the outlaws at that time. I don't think it was their fault." The events that took place at Woodstock 99 would be the nail in the coffin for the festival, and Woodstock 99 would be the last Woodstock festival that has ever happened. Although the attendees and artists like Limp Bizkit, as I've previously mentioned, were blamed for what happened at the festival, I think we can all agree that the creators and promoters of the event are actually to blame for what happened. Yet, they refuse to take any sort of accountability for incidents that occurred at the festival. But other than that, that is all I have for today's video essay. I've been having this essay I wrote about the Woodstock 99 festival for a while now, and I took it as an opportunity to make this video about it. But anyways, that's all for today's video, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.